Hello, friends, and thanks for tuning in. You know why we're here. This is plant-based cooking for busy people because we love whole food plant-based, but we don't love to be stuck in the kitchen prepping food all day. And so this is where we'll talk about always quick and easy ways to eat healthy. And so I'm glad you're here today. We are going to share a recipe that we adore. This recipe is in preparation for a bigger video about our homemade whole food plant-based pizza. Guys, I just have to say, get excited about that because, oh my gosh, if I do say so myself, we have perfected whole food plant-based pizza. And I do mean whole food. It is so nutritious and so clean and so amazing. So this is one of several toppings that we use in our pizza. And it's also a recipe we love for other things. We love it in salad. It's fantastic in tacos. This recipe is gold. And I'm going to put the link for the original recipe in the description, but we have changed it up just a little bit because we didn't want to use oil in ours. And we also did a few things to make it a little more convenient because we're just always looking to do that. So get ready to make this vegan walnut taco meat with us. It's very quick and easy. And I just can't wait until you try this. All right, let's get started. For this recipe, we're going to just throw everything into the food processor. So we have a nice large food processor, which I love because you do need one that's big enough. This is going to have roughly 4 cups of ingredients in there. And then obviously we'll be chopping them down a little bit, but I would hate to have to parcel out this recipe. That would be a bummer. So I do love our food processor, and we'll put the link for it in the description. And so the base of the recipe is walnuts. I'm just using whole raw walnuts. So we're going to put in 2 cups of the walnuts. And then the recipe also calls for mushrooms, cremini, is that how you say it? I don't know. Cremini mushrooms. And so obviously if we were using those, we would have to clean them and then chop them up a little bit roughly. But we are going to just use the freeze-dried mushrooms, which we swear by. So you already know, if you follow us at all, this is all we ever use. So we're going to need, it calls for 8 ounces of those cremini mushrooms, if you were using the fresh ones from the store. So that is roughly 2 cups of our freeze-dried mushrooms. Now, this means we're just putting these in dry, which in this recipe we have found to be actually a benefit. Because when we're finished chopping this up all together, we will be sauteing it in a pan to sort of get the moisture out. So this gives us a little bit of a head start. As you know, we can refresh these mushrooms in other recipes, but we don't want to do that here. So the only other ingredients we'll add are some soy sauce and some spices. We have smoked paprika, cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, and a little bit of salt. Just put all of those in, and we'll have the recipe in the description as well. Then I gotta grab a spatula here. We have 2 tablespoons of ketchup, and you can substitute for the ketchup if you don't want the sugar. It's not something that concerns me at all. So we're going to go ahead and use it, but if you have a favorite substitution for ketchup, go right ahead and use that. And then we're going to pulse this, And we don't want to, do not turn this on continuously. It'll turn into a paste, and we don't want that. So we're going to just pulse it until it is the consistency of ground beef, basically. So here we go. Okay, just gonna check it out. We have a little bit further to go. You can see how that's coming along there. Okay, we're getting closer. You can see it seems to be doing a pretty uniform job of pulling it down there, so I'm not too worried about that. And we're getting closer, but I don't want big chunks like that still. So I'm going to keep at it for a few more seconds. I'm going to show you that up close. That seems just about right. And then we'll go on to the next and final step. I'm back with a pan that's already heating. I have it on medium heat. And we'll go ahead, and the original recipe calls for olive oil in the pan, and you can do that if you want to. We try to avoid the oil when we can, so we have discovered we don't need it for this. So I'm going to put it in a pan, an already warming pan. And the idea is just to brown it, really. It just needs to kind of makes the flavors blend a little bit better to heat it up, and gives it just even more of a perfect flavor. So we basically are just gonna toast this really in the pan for a few minutes. It's not gonna try to stick because there's hardly any liquid in it. And it's going to smell amazing the whole time we do it. But that's basically all there is to it. So I'm not going to bore you with sit here watching a pan. So I'll be back when we're finished and let you have a look at it, and we'll go from there. Okay, we literally just browned it for a few minutes and it is perfect. Let me just show you a little bit here. That's what it looks like. You can see how it's browned and it just smells amazing. I should add that you can actually even skip this step. It's still really, really good. This just gives it that extra incredible boost, you know. But if you're in a hurry, you can actually skip that step and it is still amazing. Just consider how much better this is for you than processed vegan crumbles and things like that. And then it's just packed full of the good stuff, like the walnuts, which are so good with the omega-3s, and nuts are so good for you, and walnuts are up there with the best of the nuts. And then mushrooms, we should literally be eating mushrooms every day. And nobody would ever know there's mushrooms in here. Like, I promise you. So, and there's no oils or anything weird, gluten-free, all of the things. So anyway, I hope that you try this and love it like we do. We'll see you soon when we get to our pizza. One more thing. It freezes well. It'll keep in the fridge for 5 days, and then you can freeze it. So if you want to, while you have all the equipment out, if you want to make a double batch, we often do that. So then you have it on hand for whenever you want it. That's all.